What's good, YouTube? This video is for my boy AntCap503. I was just letting him know that he has the same Tesla radio as I got in this Escalade, and these radios are set up to come from people who are going to just probably replace the radio, leave the factory Bose amp, and maybe swap the door speakers out to something else, but definitely for people who are going to probably leave the factory Bose amp into play. It works fine for the most part. I ran it like this for probably about the better part of 7, 8, maybe 9 months. I've had this radio for that long, and it worked pretty fine. I have my subs in the back. I have a LC2i module under here tapped into the factory subwoofer still coming off the Bose amp. That feeds my Fosgate 12s in the behind the third row, powered by a DC audio 1.2K. And it works fine for what it is, but sooner or later you're going to want something better than the factory Bose amp running your highs. And that's where the problem comes in at. The way these work is the way the Escalade works. And it might be a couple other Cadillac cars, but the Escalade is for sure, and the XTS is definitely another one. The factory Bose amp gets data basically from the PCM, and that's what controls the volume. It isn't really coming from the factory nav, so to speak. It's really the amplifier itself turning up and down. And that's the problem when you put one of these radios in this truck, because they have it pretty much set up with steering wheel controls already. So you might notice my volume's at 22, and I'm still running the Escalade old profile. We're going to switch profiles in a minute, but I'm slowly hitting down on the volume. Notice my volume's still at 22, and even my analyzer is still pumping volume because this is hooked up directly to a speaker output on here. But notice we lost all audio, and I'm just going to turn the volume back up, and I'm pushing that button, and we're slowly getting louder. Like I said, this is fine for most people, and most people won't have a problem with it, but I'm going to be swapping out my highs to I bought a used Polk amp, maybe about 400 watts probably. And we're going to put some T1s in the door up front components and some T1 coaxials in the rear doors. And we're going to do some other little special stuff with the center speaker and the D-pillar speakers. That's going to be nice and cute, so we can get good, still good stereo imaging. But let's get down to the nitty gritty, and we're going to show you guys how to change this real quick. So we're going to go to settings. I'm actually going to stop J. Cole. By the way, the app that I'm running for my music is a Power Amp. I actually downloaded this from the Play Store. Everything works fine on it. The only problem is it requires internet access like every 3 or 4 minutes, and it comes up with a warning that you haven't touched their server. So unfortunately, I don't advocate piracy or anything like that, and I could screenshot my license for this that I bought it. You have to go find somewhere. I'm not going to put a link up there unless somebody really, really wants it, to basically get a special version of this that doesn't have the check-ins on it. So I paid for the app. I hated to have to do that, but it is what it is. Let's kind of get to the nitty-gritty though. So I'm going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to advanced settings, and we're going to punch in 8861. And as you can see, I'm running the Escalade old profile. We're going to touch that. And then we're going to scroll up. Escalade old is at the bottom of this list if you ever want to go back. We're going to scroll up here. Now, you got to be careful because there's quite a few cruise profiles in here, and that's where we're going to be going to. The one in particular we're going to is the Cruise L profile. And what this is going to do is going to give us volume control off the steering wheel controls, basically. And it's going to be controlling the slider on here. And it's going to also indirectly be controlling the Bose amp, which won't matter anymore because if you're doing this change anyway, you're going to be going to an external amplifier anyway. So I got the cruise profile out here. I'm going to hit OK. And every now and then I got this message. At first, when I used to do this, I first tried this out, I was getting the cruise boot logo, and I changed it to the Escalade one, and I think that's why I get that message, but there's no harm, no foul. If you do get the cruise boot logo and it aggravates you after a while, you can instantly change that to the Escalade one or any picture you want. So We go hit back, and then we're gonna hit save and reboot, and it takes about a good maybe 10 seconds or so. When we go to the cruise profile, we're gonna gain a tab here called console. I don't know what it does, but it does nothing for our Escalade since we're an Escalade, not a cruise. But everything else is gonna work the same, like your RPMs, when the door opens, when the hatch opens, and all that cute stuff is gonna be pretty much the same. You're just gonna gain having direct control from the steering wheel control to the radio, since you're gonna be swapping out amps anyway. And as you can see, mine is actually still booting an Escalade logo, and I didn't pause this for a reason, just so you guys can see it for yourself. And it takes a few seconds. Usually, I think boot time is about 30 seconds on most radios. So guys, let me know in the comments what your boot times were. You guys gotta excuse the smears and touches all over my radio. I'm kind of a messy hand person. All right, as you might have noticed, there's that console I was talking about, and we're definitely running the cruise profile. Just to give this a check, I'm going to hit the volume up on the steering wheel control, and notice, actually I'm hitting volume down. These are flipped, by the way, but that's a small price to pay to get full control over the volume of the radio. And you notice it's just going up, 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 and I'm going down, 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 or basically up on the steering wheel control button itself, and it's controlling the volume down. I could totally live with that. There's that console button I was mentioning. We can go right back to the app list. Actually, I'm gonna go to settings, and we're gonna verify that we're still running we know we're running the Cruise L profile, so that's no big thing. I'm going to advance, I believe. We're gonna punch the code in. And yep, we're still running the cruise profile. And that's pretty much it. Hope this video helps you guys out. You guys got any questions about this radio? I kind of went through a lot of little things on this radio to get it to perform the way I wanted it to perform. One of the features I was a little disappointed in that I couldn't get work was the right side camera. I was gonna have a camera for the turn signal, like how the Accords have, where you get the turn signal and it switches the display automatically. I just couldn't get that to work, and it just wasn't worth it. Well, I did get it to work. I just decided not to do it at the last second because of this summertime, my work schedule. So, you guys got any questions? Give me a heads up, and I'll respond instantly. Actually, I want to show you guys one more thing. Ant Cap actually mentioned his was a fake 6.0, and I'm going to show you on here where we go to. Yeah, I thought it was in About Radio. Let me system info. And no, that's not it. Just give me a second, guys. Maybe system settings. Actually in more settings. I'm sorry about that. And we're going to go down to About Device. And they can actually fake this 7.11 thing. But this actually really is 7.1. So, one of the ways you could tell you have 7.1 is this is one of the first ones, I believe, from what I was told, that can do video out directly from here. Most of the early generation ones couldn't do video out, and that was definitely a no-go for me, and that's what stopped me from ordering from Phoenix, because we have a 22-inch monitor installed in ours, and my kids love it, and not having use of this on road trips was not going to happen. So, hope this video helps you guys. Shoot me a comment if you guys need help with anything.